Greetings, everybody. Jeffrey Guterman, and we're here for Strat-O-Matic Baseball 1969 replay. This is the Strat-O-Matic Baseball Network. I'm Jeffrey Guterman, and we're just about to get started here. Just about to get started. We had to move this game up an hour due to an extra inning game. Kathy Harden has arrived. Thank you, Kathy Harden. I have a limited amount of coffee left, but enough to get me through a bit of this game, and then I might go move right to the other stuff. I don't know, we'll see. This is the fourth and final game of a four-game series between the Chicago White Sox and the... It's holding up, Kathy. I have a second one, even though I can't even see the ink anymore. So I'm getting ready to get myself ready to see this one to end. You see, it was up to here, and it's gone all the way down. I have a spare, so I won't run out of ink. Folks, I want to tell you about this series. This series started out with a doubleheader on the 29th, a single game on the 30th, and then this is the fourth game. In the doubleheader, in the first game of the doubleheader, the White Sox beat Cleveland 8-0 on a complete game shutout by Tommy John. Okay. In the second game, amazing, Cleveland took it. It was a combined shutout. Some of you may remember this, 1-0. Hargan and Burkhart. And Wilbur Wood got the loss. That sounds a little bit like the last game we played. So it was 1-1 in games. And in their third game, which was played on the 30th, Cleveland won at 5-1. McDowell went all the way, allowing one run in 9 innings. Horland got the loss. He got hit pretty hard. So Cleveland's winning 2-1. This is the fourth game, and Chicago needs to win to avoid losing to get a split. What's interesting about this is that the Chicago White Sox come into this in fourth place, 29 and a half behind. And I just made a note here to remind myself, Seattle is in fifth place, 30 and 1/2 games behind. So Seattle is sneaking up on Chicago. The Cleveland Indians are in dead last in the East, 35 games behind. Today it'll be Billy Wynne, a right-hander for the White Sox, and Dick Ellsworth, the southpaw, for Cleveland. Let's look at our opening lineups here. First of all, the tweet should be up and good. There it is. I don't know how to thank everybody for being here and providing the support. Oh, Lord, that's tough. God. That is really tough. For the Chicago White Sox, leading off, Walt Williams in left, Aparicio at short, Hopkins at first, Bill Melton at third, Lee May in right, Buddy Bradford in center field, Ron Hansen at second base, Don Pavletich catching, and Billy Wynne the pitcher. For Cleveland, it's Jose Cardinal in center, Dave Nelson at second base, Frank Baker in left, Tony Horton at first, Hawk Harrelson in right, Duke Sims catching, Lou Klimchak at third, Eddie Leon at short, and Dick Ellsworth, the southpaw, pitching. And Mike Terranova has arrived. We welcome you, Mike. And the Cleveland Indians take the field. There's Dick Ellsworth on the mound, southpaw. And leading it off for the White Sox is Walt Williams. Okay, Ellsworth is ready now. Here's the windup and the pitch to Williams. 5-8. And that's swung on and it's hit deep to left center. And it's to the wall. A triple by Walt Williams to lead it off. Walt Williams opens it up with a triple. Off Ellsworth. Here comes Louis Aparicio. Again, the Cleveland Indians have won 2 of the 3 games in this 4-game series. This is the final game. White Sox in danger of falling, not in this game, but with a Seattle win on this date, they could end up tied with Seattle. Here's the pitch to Aparicio, 6-9, fly ball right. Harrelson is there, and it's deep enough for Williams to tag. And a quick 1-0 lead for the Chi Sox. A run batted in for Aparicio. Harden for the White Sox. Here comes Gale Hopkins. 1 out, nobody on now. The pitch from Ellsworth. 5-4. Catcher X, Sims a 3. 6-3. And it's a dribbler right in front of the plate, bobbled by Duke Sims. And Hopkins is safe on first. A 1-base error by Duke Sims of the Indians. Not a great start here for Cleveland. And Bill Melton comes up with Hopkins on first, 1 down. Ellsworth from the stretch, the pitch to Melton. 1-6, and that is a base hit for Melton. Hopkins goes to second. Now Carlos May. May is a left-handed hitter. It's lefty-lefty here. Ellsworth trying to get out of this trouble here. He's already allowed a run. Here's the pitch to May. 1-5, struck him out. So that's 2 away. Big out for Ellsworth. Now Buddy Bradford. And the pitch to Bradford. 3-11, struck him out. Second strikeout for Ellsworth. The side is retired. There was 1 run on 2 hits. The opening triple by Williams brought home on a sacrifice fly by Aparicio. Hopkins reached on an error. Melton singled. They're both left on. After a half, Chicago 1, Cleveland coming to bat. Here's Billy Wynne. Pitching for the White Sox. He's got a 1-0 lead to start it off. And Jose Cardinal will lead it off. I trust that many of you are getting familiar with these ball players as we play them day in, day out. Fouled back and out of play by Cardinal. Three, 5, grounds it to short. Aparicio has it, throws it over to Hopkins. There's one away. I want Chicago, just because Kathy Harden wants Chicago. I want her to enjoy a game. Actually, her team won last game. I usually don't do that, but I feel like it. Here's Dave Nelson now. Wynne into his windup. And the pitch to Nelson for 11. And that is a base hit by Nelson. Past the reach of Aparicio. So Nelson on first, one out. And here's Frank Baker. Okay, Wynne from the stretch. Here's the pitch. 110. He grounds it to third for the force. Nelson out at second. Baker on first now with 2 down. And here's Tony Horton. Just underway here at Municipal. Small crowd. You can't blame them. With Cleveland in the cellar. It's 2 outs, Baker on first. They trail 1-0. Here's the pitch to Horton. 4-7. And that is a base hit by Horton. Right up the middle. Baker goes to second and holds. So Cleveland has a little something going here. With 2 outs, first and second, and here comes the Hawk. Hawk Harrelson. The pitch from Wynne. 2-2. Swung on and belted! Deep to left field. Back goes Williams. It is gone. A 3-run home run by Hawk Harrelson. We've been talking about him. We've been talking about him not hitting the long ball. Well, he finally got a hold of one. And Lord, did he send it flying. A 3-run blast by Hawk. And it's a 3-1 ball game. Let's look at that again. 2-2. Home run. So it's 3-1, Kathy Harden. And Duke Sims comes up. He's got power. 2 outs, nobody on. Billy Wynne of the White Sox allowing a 3-run blast to Hawk Harrelson here in the bottom of the first. Lord, did he hit that? Lord. Okay, Wynne is ready. Whew, the pitch to Sims. 6-7. Walked him. A 2-out walk to Sims and Lou Klimchak now. You gotta think Hawk must be relieved on that drought. He hasn't hit a home run in the longest time. Here's the pitch to Klimchak. 3-3. And he chops it to first base. Hopkins has it. Steps on the bag and the side is retired. But 3 runs on a huge 3-run home run by Hawk Harrelson. And after 1, it's Cleveland 3, Chicago 1. And Dick Ellsworth comes out. He's got a lead now. He'll face Hansen, Pavlicich, and Wynne. Lord, did he hit that. Okay, Ellsworth, the pitch to Hansen. 5-8, and that is a triple for Hansen. The second triple for the White Sox this game. It was a 5-8 triple, 1-2, and it's a 2. And here's Don Pavlitic, the tying run at home plate. Lord. Turning out to be a wild and woolly ball game. Certainly not as clean as we would prefer it to be. Lord, and Mark Schucker has arrived. Here's Don Pavlitic now. Ellsworth with Hansen on third, no outs. And the pitch, 1-7. Walked him. White Sox will bring the infield in here on Wynne. First and third, nobody out. "1-8 struck him out. That's the third by Dick Ellsworth. Now the infield goes back. Double play depth for Walt Williams, who tripled and scored on a sacrifice fly by Aparicio. First and third, one down. Ellsworth, the pitch to Williams. 2-4, grounds it to pops it up to short. That's better. And Eddie Leon makes the catch, and runners hold, of course. 2 outs. And Aparicio is the batter. Clutch situation for Louis Aparicio. 2 down, first and third. White Sox trail by 2. And the pitch to Aparicio. 3-6. Fly ball center that should end the inning. Cardinal makes the catch, and the side is retired. So Ellsworth gets out of it after first and third, no outs. 2 left on. And in the middle of the second, it's a 3-1 ball game. And Harden again for the Sox. Here comes Wynne now. He'll face Leon, Ellsworth, and top of the order, Jose. Here's Eddie Leon. Woo! The pitch from Wynne. 1-6, struck him out. That's the first by Billy Wynne. Now Dick Ellsworth comes to the plate. Here's Wynne, and the pitch. 5-3. Left-hander hit deep, but he does not have the power. It's a base hit for Ellsworth. So the pitcher, Ellsworth, Gigi has arrived. Got a whole bunch of people here today. Ellsworth gets a good hit on it. He's on first, 1 out. It's 3-1 Cleveland on the 3-run home run by Hawk Harrelson in the first. Bottom of the second. Ellsworth on first, 1 down. Jose Cardinal at the plate. And the pitch to Jose. 5-8. Fly ball right. Carlos May makes the catch, and Ellsworth holds. And Dave Nelson is the batter. Nelson singled in the first. 2-9. Grounds it back to Wynne. Throws it over to Hopkins, and the side is retired. No runs, 1 hit, and 1 left on. We've gone 2. It's a 3-1 ball game. Leading it off for the White Sox is Gale Hopkins. He reached on the error in the first. Here's Ellsworth now, the windup, the pitch to Hopkins. 6-7, grounder to second. Nelson, he's a 3. 4-3, he throws him out. Nice play by Dave Nelson. Now Bill Melton is the batter. Melton singled and was left on base in the first. Here's the pitch to Melton. 1-6, and that is a base hit. Another single for Melton with 1 out. And Carlos comes up. He struck out. It's Melton on first, 1 down, top of the third. Chi Sox down by 2. Whew. Carlos May, and the pitch. 110, fly ball center field. Jose Cardinal makes the catch, and Melton holds. 2 away. And Buddy Bradford, he also struck out. It's 2 outs with Melton on first. We want to thank you for joining us this afternoon. This game was delayed due to an extra inning game. You may want to watch it if you haven't already. Montreal at Cincinnati. It's in 2 parts. It's on my channel here at the Strat-O-Matic Baseball Network. 2 outs, Melton on first. Ellsworth gets the sign from Sims. The pitch to Bradford. 6-8, and that is a double down the line for Bradford. Melton rounds second, goes to third, but he'll hold there. A 2-out double by Buddy Bradford. It's really up the middle, in the gap, if you will. Not down the line, just used to saying that. So with 2 outs, the Chi Sox have runners on second and third, and here's Ron Hansen, who tripled and was left on base. Boy, they could use that triple now. Here's the pitch to Hansen. 1-4, and it's fly ball to right, and this is playable by Hawk. He makes the catch, and the side is retired. No runs for the Chi Sox on 2 hits and both left on. Folks, we're heading to the bottom of the third. Trying to get myself calmed. Had a very, very stressful day. And also, life has been stressful altogether, every day. And I thought I was doing a little better, but you know what can happen. Life is what happens while you're busy making other plans. So just trying to calm down. Bottom of the third now, Cleveland batting. It's Frank Baker to lead it off. Baker reached on a force and scored on Hawk Harrelson's 3-run home run, along with Tony Horton. Here's Wynne now. And the pitch, just talk calmly, Jeff. The pitch to Baker. Well, not that calmly. 2-8, struck him out. That's 2 for Billy Wynne. Just stay calm. Here's Tony Horton. 1 out, nobody on. Bottom of the third. And Wynne now. The pitch to Horton. 4-7. And that is a base hit for Horton. His second single of the ball game. And here comes Hawk. Big hand for Hawk. I need to take a Klonopin, Kathy. I'm just, it'll calm me. By the end of this game, I'll be much calmer. Hawk Harrelson. All right. I just got approval from Kathy Harden. Thank you, Mr. Terranova. Okay, Hawk Harrelson facing Wynne. It's Horton on first, one down. Cleveland leads at 3-1. Here's the pitch to Hawk. 4-7. And that's a line out to second, diving catch by Hansen. 2 outs. Beautiful catch. Almost a base hit. And Duke Sims is the batter. And the pitch to Sims. 6-4. Fly ball center. This should end the inning. Under it is Bradford, and the side is retired. No runs. 1 hit, the single by Horton, left on. And after 3, it's a 3-1 ball game. Okay, Mark Schucker coming out to pitch the top of the 4th. Just kidding. I meant Dick Ellsworth. And here come the White Sox. Oh, Gigi, you saw a ball game at their new stadium? Yeah, I bet it is nice. Don Pavlicich walked and was left on base along with Hansen, who tripled in the second. Here's Dick Ellsworth now. The pitch to Pavlicich, 4-6, grounds it to short. Eddie Leon throws it to Horton. There's one away. And here comes Billy Wynne. Wynne struck out in the second. Okay, here's the pitch from Ellsworth. That's 2-9. He grounds it to first. And Horton has it. He steps on the bag. It's 2 away. So Ellsworth trying to settle down here. He's gotten into trouble every inning. He's allowed only 1 run, though. Two outs, nobody on. Walt Williams, the batter. Here's the pitch. 1-8. And it's a base hit for Williams. A 2-out single. Now Aparicio, the batter. I'd like to go to Cleveland. Never been there. Been to Cincinnati, Columbus. Okay, Ellsworth. The pitch to Aparicio. 5-8. And that is a base hit for Aparicio. Williams goes to third. Like I'm telling you, trouble every inning for Ellsworth. But the White Sox have been unable to bring anything home other than the first run in the first inning. It's 2 outs now, first and third. And Hopkins, 0 for 2, steps up to the plate. Here's the pitch to Hopkins now. 6-5. Grounds it to short. Eddie Leon. He's a 4. Oh, Lord. He boots it. Williams comes home. And it's a 3-2 ball game. That's unearned. No run batted in. Second error by Cleveland. That one cost them. An unearned run. It's first and second now. Yeah, Kathy Harden looking cool as a cucumber there. First and second, 2 outs. I just had a tinge of optimism. That happens to me, that my life, my situation, the things I'm worried about, like I just get sort of an aura, a wave goes over my mind that maybe things are not as bad as they seem. Here's Bill Melton now. First and second, 2 down. Ellsworth trying to get out of this. Here's the pitch to Melton. 2-12, and he lines it to short, and Leon has it this time, and the side is retired. But there was 1 run on 2 hits. The error that brought home Williams, it's unearned, but it counts as much as anybody's run. We've gone 3.5. It's a 3-2 ball game. How do I sound now? Any better? Here's Billy Wynne. I'm just a big baby is what I am, emotionally. We move to the bottom of the 4th. I'm definitely going to hit the other stuff. I got about half a cup left. It's 3-2 Cleveland White Sox. Trying to split the series. This is the 4th of a 4. And they need to win to ensure we got a ball game. We got a ball game. But they need to win to make sure that Seattle doesn't tie them up when they play later on this date, July 31, 1969. Okay, Billy Wynne. He allowed the 3-run home run in the first, nothing after that. He'll face Klimchak here to start off the bottom of the 4th. And here's the pitch to Klimchak. It's a grounder to second. That's for Hansen, a 3. 14-3. Oh, he boots it. Oh, first error for the White Sox today. I got to tell you all something. There's a documentary, and it's homemade. You know, some people make amazing documentaries. And this guy made a documentary about the 1920 baseball season. And he occasioned it with mentions of American history. And it was fascinating. I loved it so much. It really got me in the mood to do the 1920 replay. And given that there are only 16 teams and they only played 154 games, it would be a lot less. And I could intersperse it with links to historical events, and thereby, including race riots, and thereby address the color barrier that existed. So I'm leaning toward 1920. Klimchak on first, no outs. Eddie Leon is the batter now. Leon struck out. Well, Gigi, I'm going to tell you why I think that is. Are you talking about me, Kathy, or what? Because I'm going to tell you something, Gigi. The more you do, the more you experience, the more you perceive, the longer the time period seems to be. And that's just at least my experience. So like if you go on vacation and it's like the third day of the vacation, the fourth day, you look back, you'll swear, and you do a lot of sightseeing, you'll swear you've been there. You can't believe it's been only 3 or 4 days. And it does seem longer than that, Gigi. To me, it seems longer than that. Okay, did I do Leon? I don't think so. Eddie Leon at the plate. Here's the pitch from Wynne. 1-6, struck him out. Third for Wynne now. And Dick Ellsworth is the batter. Jefferson and Adams. Yeah, I'd believe that. A lot of documentation, not in 1920, of course. A lot of documentation about where presidents went. He came to my hometown, Roslyn, New York. It's very well documented. Washington, a slave owner. Here's Billy Wynne. From the stretch, Klimchak on first, 1 down. And the pitch to Ellsworth, 3-9, grounds it to third. Melton over to Hansen, to Hopkins, double play. And the side is retired. No runs, no hits. The error by Hansen. And none left on. We've gone 4. It's 3-2. We got a ball game. And here comes Dick Ellsworth. Both pitchers very challenged today, both pitchers. In the top of the 5th, it will be Carlos, Bradford, and Hansen. Carlos, Bradford, and Hansen. Okay, Ellsworth is ready. Here's the pitch to May. 6-7, grounds it to second. Nelson, 10-3, boots it for an error. Oh my, that's the 3rd error for Cleveland. So May is the tying run on first based on an error. And Buddy Bradford is the batter now. Buddy Bradford. Yeah. Here's my last cup now. And then I'll take a break and we'll be around 5 p.m. and then it'll be time for the other stuff. Okay, Ellsworth is ready now. He's going to face Buddy Bradford with May, who reached on an error by second baseman Dave Nelson. From the stretch, Ellsworth. Here's the pitch to Bradford. 3-7. Walked him. First and second now. Absolutely. Okay. Here's Ron Hansen now. First on second, nobody out. Hansen tripled and flew to right. Here's the pitch to Ron Hansen. 5-9. Swung on and hit. In the gap, it's a double. May scores, and Bradford goes to third. I think that's going to be unearned. And that would be the second unearned run allowed by Ellsworth. I do not have my official scorer here, so I'm doing the best I can. I'm not keeping that stat anyway. As some of you know, I fell behind on statistics on this replay. So it's second and third, no outs, and Don Pavlitic comes to the plate. It's a tie ball game now. Ellsworth struggling here. From the stretch, the pitch to Pavlitic. 3-9, fly ball center. Cardinal has it, but it's deep enough. Thank you, Mr. Parada. That gives me a vote of satisfaction. Bradford tags Mr. Parada. I think that one's earned. Thank you to Mr. Parada. He's such a great guy. Such a good teacher, too. And he's not a dick about it. That's what I like most of all. He's not a prick. Oh, it actually hurt a little bit to laugh. Thank you, Mr. Parada. I think this one was earned, though, sir. Hansen held stayed at second on that. Cardinal threw it in, but it was so deep. Bradford came home. Mr. Parada says it's earned. I'm learning. Yeah. You tell me Hansen doesn't get an RBI on that? I'm not keeping RBIs, but it's good to know. So it's 1 out, Hansen on second. And here comes Billy Wynne. Hansen on second. And Mr. Parada says it is an RBI for Hansen. And Pavlitic? I thought Pavlitic also. Yeah, Pavlitic gets an RBI too. Thank you. So it's still only 1 out. The White Sox have taken a 4-3 lead. Thank you, Mr. Parada. And here's Billy Wynne, 0 for 2. Here's Ellsworth now. Thank you, Mr. Parada. And the pitch, 5-9. And that's hit deep. Oh, my, in the gap for Wynne, the pitcher. And I'm going to say that's earned. Three runs in. Now it's 5-3. And Walt Williams comes to the plate. Dick Ellsworth, there is action in the Cleveland bullpen. Oh, my, oh, my. Whew. God almighty. Ron Law is warming. What an inning here for the Chi Sox. Wynne on second, still only 1 out. And the pitch to Williams. 5-4, catcher X. Sims, 19-3. Reroll. 4-3. Pops out to Sims. Now I know everything would be unearned. That I know for sure. Yeah, after 2 outs, right. Okay, Gigi. So it's 2 outs and Wynne on second. Lord, Dick Ellsworth trying to get out of this. Whew. Here's the pitch to Aparicio. 6-12. Grounds it back to Ellsworth. He's a 4. 2-4. That's going to go through for a base hit. And Wynne scores. 4th run this inning. And Mr. Perota, I assume Aparicio does not get an RBI? That was unearned. That run. That's a second unearned run. I think it's a shame when you have to not get an RBI even though you get the hit. That's a shame. And 3 of these runs are unearned. And Dave Nelson. Yes, RBI. He gets an RBI. Okay. Well, then that's his second. God, I'm so confused. I have 3 unearned runs. Or 2. 2, I'm sorry. 2 unearned runs. Because there's 4 runs here. You say 2 earned, 1 unearned. I say 2 unearned and 2 earned. Isn't that correct? I wish there were no errors. Exactly, Mr. Perota. Here's Gale Hopkins now. He's 0 for 3, reached up twice on errors. 3 errors today by Cleveland, and it's cost them. 6-3 ball game now. Here's the pitch to Hopkins. Lord, oh, that's a re-roll. 3-5. Fly ball right, this should end the inning. Harrelson makes the catch and the side is retired, but a terrible, terrible inning for Dick Ellsworth and the Cleveland Indians in the middle of the 5th. It's a 6-3 ball game, Lord. And I was pretty messed up, so it's 2-2. Now, he had an unearned run in the 4th, Mr. Perota. So cumulatively, he's allowed 3 earned and 3 unearned, but in that inning, it's 2-2, as you say. Here's Billy Wynne to start off the bottom of the 5th, and Jose Cardinal is the batter. What a mess. Okay, Wynne now with a lead. Here's the pitch to Jose. 4-8, and that was in your absence. If you want to retract that, of course, you have every right to do so. 4-8, he walked him. So Jose on first being held. He's a 1-17 on Pavlitic's arm. And here comes Nelson, who made the error. The pitch to Nelson. There goes Cardinal. And he's safe. Jose swipes second. So Nelson has a chance to knock one in here at 6-3 White Sox. From the stretch, Wynne. 6-3. Swung on and hit deep. But Nelson is a W. Oh, so it's a base hit. And Cardinal scores. That makes it a 6-4 ball game. Not a very pretty game, but sure has a lot of things going on here. Frank Baker now, 0 for 2. Nelson on first, nobody out. Here's the pitch to Baker. 6-7. Walked him. So now Wynne getting in trouble. First and second, nobody out. Tony Horton 2 for 2, 2 singles. And Hawk Harrelson on deck. And Wynne from the stretch, the pitch to Horton. 2-7, struck him out. That's the 4th for Wynne, a big strikeout. Now with Hawk at the plate, infield is double play depth. He hit the 3-run home run. 6-4 ball game. Here's Wynne, the pitch to Hawk. 5-9, struck him out. That's the 5th for Wynne. And it's all up to Duke Sims. First and second, 2 down. Oh my Lord. Yeah, okay. Here's the pitch to Sims. 2-9. Struck him out. So Billy Wynne strikes out the side. Oh, Lord. But there was 1 run on 2 walks, stolen base, a base hit, 2 left on after 5. It's a 6-4 ball game. I think we still got a ball game here. Now Dick Ellsworth, he is vulnerable this inning to fatigue. Big inning here for Ellsworth to see how he fares. He's been in trouble every damn inning today. He's pitched 5 innings. 3 earned runs, 3 unearned runs. Here's the pitch to Melton. 6-7, grounded to second. Nelson again. 5-4, and it's a base hit. It goes through. Melton is 3 for 4 today. White Sox lead by 2. Carlos May now. Carlos 0 for 3, scored on the error by Nelson. And the pitch 3-3. It's a fly ball to left. Under it is Baker, and he makes the catch. 1 down. Melton holds. We'll have a 3 to 5 minute break after this half inning, Kathy Harden. Here comes Bradford. What a mess of a game. 110, struck him out. That is the 4th strikeout by Dick Ellsworth. 2 down. And here's Ron Hansen. 2 for 3, a triple and a double. Scored a run, knocked in a run. Here's Ellsworth now, the pitch to Hansen. 3-6, walked him. 1 more and he's through. Ron Law is ready in the bullpen. Don Pavlitic is the batter. And the pitch. 1-6, struck him out. The 5th by Ellsworth. So the pitching has been erratic. Sometimes great, sometimes not so great. Top of the 6th. No runs, 1 hit, 1 walk, 2 left. And we're going to head to the bottom of the 6th. I want to thank everybody. Everyone. You remember that from the movie The Professional? What do you mean, everyone? Everyone! And when we come back, it's going to be Billy Wynne, who is the winner of record thus far in this wacky ball game. White Sox 6, Cleveland 4. I'll be back in 3 to 5 minutes. Oh. How did I miss that, Steve Parada? That must have been the Seattle game. Well, you're such a good guy. I'm going to go in there and change it right now. And folks, I love rationalization. This doesn't affect my league, meaning it's good for me to learn this, but here's the game of mention. And you're so good, I'm gonna add the save. Okay, there we go. I take it very, very seriously, but this does not affect outcomes of games. Thank you very much for that. I must have missed that. I need to be very, very cognizant in my next replay. And I used to think I knew what I was doing when it came to saves, unearned runs, and RBIs related to unearned runs. But obviously, I have so much. I got into bad habits. I'll have to use my head and realize, as if it didn't happen. Folks, I'm going to take a little break. It's going to be 3 to 5 minutes. We're in the middle of the sixth. It's White Sox 6, Cleveland 4. The alternative is I could have Mr. Perota be on every game, but there's an old expression, I can give you a fish and you'll eat today, or I can teach you to fish and you'll eat every day of your life. Yeah, that's interesting, Stephen. That's very interesting. You're telling me a sports writer wrote that rule? Lord. And I don't like that you can be deprived of a run batted in if you knock in a runner in some cases. But in any case, folks, I'm taking a 3 to 5. When I come back, I'm going to start the other stuff. And this is the Strat-O-Matic Baseball Network. I want to say that, to the people in text, because I get to know them, Mark Sugar, Kathy Harden, Stephen Perota, Gigi, in no particular order. I really appreciate the companionship and the support I get from all of you. I don't want to get corny or anything, but I don't take it for granted. It means a lot to me. I'll be back in 3 to 5. Thank you. So that was a new rule change in 1959, and why Jerome Holtzman got to write it, I don't understand, but okay. I was looking at the 1920 documentary I was talking about earlier of baseball. There were 3 teams in the American League that almost and threatened, I don't know how close it was, to leave the American League and go to the National League over the fact that I think that they wanted to pick Dan Johnson, who they hated, to be what they called the czar of baseball. It was the commissioner, because the looming 1919 scandal, which came into actual conviction, started to have confessions. Joe Jackson was one of the first to confess, and by the end of the season, it was full blown. And of course, Babe Ruth, who had maybe his best year, 376, I think, 54 home runs, which was more than all the other teams combined, saved the game. But anyway, that's the way the story goes. I'll be back. I'm just going to hit the lavatory real quick, and we'll get on with this ball game. Micro, Kathy, micro. And I hope you all understand, it's nice for me to get this, get the unearned right and all that, but it doesn't affect outcome. So I still hope you'll see see basic integrity in this replay. It's going to be a micro here. Leading it off for the Cleveland Indians will be Lou Klimchak. And if any of you want to co-manage Mr. Perota, anybody else out there who wishes to take a team, someday we could try it at least as an experiment to the point where we will have the starting lineups per real world, but I could send you a picture of the roster. You can also pull up the roster on Baseball Digest, and you can manage a team. For example, I'm going to pinch hit Ellsworth. Okay, Mr. Who wrote that? I thought I saw I would. You would like that, Mr. Terranova? Why don't you look at the schedule either on Baseball Digest. I don't know if you have the link, but look at the 69, look at the date, look at what games were up, tell me which game you want to do, and or look at the schedule that I post on YouTube about upcoming games. I try to get at least 2 or 3 up there, but I'm not now. But I'll be posting the next game, and since we bring it up, the next game will be the Orioles at KC, and it's the final game of their series. It will be Phoebus for the Orioles and Rooker for Kansas City. That'll be a morning game tomorrow. I can modify that based on your schedule. And then after that, it will be Detroit at Minnesota, and that's their final game of the series. And that would be more likely an afternoon game. It'll be Kilkenny, a rare start for the Tigers, a spot start, and Boswell, the 20-game winner, I believe, for the Twins. But we'll get those posted. Uh, yeah, it doesn't matter. I'm not very competitive when it comes to things like that. The afternoon game, Detroit would be 3 p.m. Eastern. But again, I'm flexible. The only thing I can't do it at 5. I can't do it really later than 3, or because I expect a phone call every day at that time. But we'll work it out, Mr. Terranova. We will work it out. You will. You'll do the second game. 3 o'clock, Detroit and Minnesota. Who are you taking? Who are you taking? Detroit or Minnesota? You let us know. And by the way, it's, there is a time delay on the texting and all, but they always say managers have to be ahead of the game. You're going to take Minnesota. Okay. Okay, let me make a note of that. I rarely use paper anymore. I'm paperless. It doesn't mean no paper. And so a 3 p.m. start tomorrow is good for you. Okay. He'll be managing Minnesota. Let me make a note of that. And Detroit, by the way, are the visitors, even though I have it down here. So I have that set. Let me just double check on the schedule again to make sure that's exactly right. And I'll set these up after the game. I get tired. I'm not going to post the updated standings for this one though until the morning. Detroit at Minnesota. Kilkenny for Detroit with Guterman as the manager, and Boswell for the Twins. And you're lucky, Carew, Killebrew, and Oliva are all playing, and Boswell is the pitcher. If I'm not mistaken, he was the 20-game winner, and he was 20-12, and they have the best record in baseball. So glad to have you do it, and be an interesting experiment. Let me do my micro. Let me ingest it very nicely. And of course, the rest of you, and Mr. Perota, you're more than welcome. Kathy Harden, you're welcome. Mark Schucker, you're welcome. Perfect. Absolutely perfect hit. Oh. Here comes Klimchak. Cleveland trails by 2. Billy Wynne has gone all the way. Remember, he let up a 3-run home run to Hawk Harrelson in the third, but Chicago came back. Here's Billy Wynne now, and the pitch to Klimchak. 3-5. And he pops it up to second. That's for Hansen, one down. That start time is 3 p.m. Eastern. You're in New York, aren't you, Mr. Terranova? And I don't want you to go out of your way to, if it's an inconvenience, we can do it a little earlier. I mean, you name the time. It's just got to be like after 10 a.m., anytime after 10, but before 3:30. But I'd rather have it no later than 3. You're in New York. I assume you are Eastern time. I've been wanting to do this for the longest time. We also have an option, Mr. Terranova, of inviting you to join us on the live network through your smartphone. I've not been successful at figuring out how to do that yet. I have failed, but it means I set it up that way. It's called Live Together, and it's through YouTube, only available on the smartphone devices, and we could send you the link and you could do it. I don't know how well I'd be able to get a view of the score sheet though, because it's portrait size, but I could find a way. I could really try to find a way to do it. I'd be willing to really try to do it. Okay, 3 p.m. That's Eastern, Mr. Terranova. 1 out, nobody on, Eddie Leon. 0 for 2, struck out twice by Wynne. And the pitch, 2-8. And that is a grounder to third for Melton. Throws to Hopkins, 2 away. So Wynne is settling down. There'll be a hitter for Ellsworth. He was in trouble every inning. And it's no wonder he's allowed 3 earned, 3 unearned. He allowed 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. That'll be actually fun for me to play with somebody. I haven't played with someone in a long time. 3 walks, struck out 5, and allowed 3 earned runs, and 3 unearned came in. And the new pitcher will be Ron Law for Dick Ellsworth. Ron Law. The hitter with 2 outs and nobody on. I know it's a desperate move. And look, if you want to do unconventional things, that's fine too. It's only 1 game, If you want to do all sorts of unconventional stuff, crazy stuff, whatever you want to do. I'm not going to start managing your managing. I'm a very conservative, I think, a conservative manager. Whatever that means. I think I don't take wild chances. Here's Russ Snyder now. Not that I know so much about the game, the playing of the game. As far as history of the game, I know a pretty fair amount from the dead ball era right through to about 1980, and then I got away from the game. I'm honored to play with you. Absolutely. That's fun. You're not going to believe it. The guy, he's the host of Price is Right. His name escapes me. I somehow stumbled upon a live YouTube broadcast of him playing computer Strat-O-Matic with another guy, and the guy obviously had a separate kind of streaming program that allowed 3 of them on, the host and then the 2 of them managing. And I said to myself, what a cool guy. What a cool frickin' guy. You all know who I'm talking about? I could look it up for you, tell you his name. The Price is Right He took over. Drew Carey. Now, some of you may say, "Oh, I don't like Drew Carey," whatever reason. But I never disliked him. Was not a fan of his. But Lord, I said, what a cool frickin' guy, Stephen. He was sitting there so humbly. You know what I mean? Just like one of us. I said, and he liked Strat-O-Matic computer version. That's fine. I said, that's cool. Russ Snyder with 2 outs, pinch hitting for Ellsworth. Here's Billy Wynne and the windup. That's 4-5, and he grounds it to first for Hopkins. And he steps on the bag, and the side is retired. So Billy Wynne has retired 6 in order after striking out 3 in order. And after 6, it's 6-4 ball game. And that's going to be it for Ellsworth. Coming in is Ron Law. To pitch to the White Sox in the top of the 7th. It's been a long game. It's been quite a ball game. Oh, where is Drew Carey from? Because I know Mike's from New York. He's a real cool guy. I mean, impressive. And someone asked him in text, what's your favorite column in Strat-O-Matic? And he was very quick. He said, depends on the hitter. Very, very smart guy. I mean, I don't know why I would have thought of such a thing to say so quickly. Okay. Here comes, there are other celebrity Strato players. I think not Dan, the Atlanta pitcher is big on it. Bob Costas wrote about it. I don't think he plays anymore, but he's played in his childhood. It's going to be Billy Wynne leading off top of the 7th with a 6-4 lead. He's 1 for 3, doubled. And the new pitcher, Ron Law, and the pitch. And it's a base hit up the middle for Wynne, his second hit of the game, the pitcher. Yeah, Mike, I was really, really impressed by that. I admired that. Yeah. He's like a cool guy, a guy you'd like to hang around. He doesn't rub anything in your face. He doesn't try to prove to you that he's a big shit. You know what I'm saying? And I can't blame him for taking the Price is Right gig. It's good money, I bet. Here's Walt Williams, 2 for 4 with Wynne on first. Here's the pitch from Law. Oh, that's a re-roll. Get about 1 or 2 a game. And the pitch, 6-11. And that is a base hit for Williams. Just past the shortstop, Eddie Leon. And it's 1st and 2nd. And this is not what Cleveland needs. But I think Kathy Harden has no complaints about this. 1st and 2nd, nobody out. And Ron Law now will face Louis Aparicio. 2 for 3 and a sacrifice fly brought in the first run of this ball game. Okay, Law's ready now. The pitch to Louis. 2-4. Grounds it to short, double play. Wynne will go to third. 2 outs. I might want to do another micro, Kathy Harden. Here comes Gail Hopkins with 2 outs and Wynne on third at 6-4. And Billy Wynne, who's gone all the way, allowed 4 runs, will face the top of this Cleveland order, starting with my man, Jose Cardinal. Here's Gale Hopkins now. And the pitch. 4-6, and it's a base hit. Wynne trots home. And it's 7-4. A 2-out single by Hopkins, bringing home Wynne, who is, I think he's working towards star of the game on this, because he's helped with the bat more than his pitching, for Christ's sakes. 2 for 2, scored twice with a run batted in. Lord. And he's a 1 WL. Up comes Bill Melton now with Hopkins on first and 2 away. Here's Bill Melton now. Bill 3 for 4 with 3 singles. They've been aided by errors, but you can't say they're not hitting. The pitch to Melton. 1-8, and it's a chopper to second. Nelson has it, throws it over to Horton, and the side is retired. 1 run on 3 hits and 1 left. And in 7th inning stretch now, it's a 7-4 ball game. Nothing like a little insurance, people. And Billy Wynne takes the mound. He retired the side in order, and he has retired the last 6 batters, including 3 strikeouts in a row to start off that 6-out streak. Jose Cardinal is the batter. Love Jose, loved him when he came to the Cubs. Always in the middle of something that you don't see in the box score. Can do a little bit of everything. Here's Billy Wynne, the pitch to Jose. 3-9, grounds it to second. Hanson over to Hopkins, 1 down. Billy Wynne, 7 in a row now. And this would be the time to settle down. Now Dave Nelson, 2 for 3. I don't like to highlight goats. And you know, goat has a different meaning, doesn't it? There's 2 meanings of goat. Goat is the one who lost the game for you. And the other goat is that's you're a great guy. Am I right? Just let me know, yes or no. Am I right? So context would be very important. Here's Dave Nelson, 2 for 3. And Wynne the pitch. 6-8. Grounder to short. Aparicio throws him out. That's 8 in a row for Billy Wynne. It's true, Kathy? Okay, it's not just me, yeah. I guess today they use it as a good thing. It's like today when bad means good. Okay, and I have nothing wrong. Look, I've studied linguistics. I've written about language in professional journals. This is me sort of showing off a little. Strat-O-Matic, what do you mean? The Strat-O-Matic headquarters is in Glen Head, New York, Gigi. Yeah, right, Mark. It means the greatest. Yeah, he's the GOAT. It's funny how and that's one of the things I've studied, is how word meanings are based on culture and historization, not any inherent truth to the words. Okay? That's as simply as I could explain it. I'll say it one more time. The changes in meanings of words are a result not of some inherent meaning or inherent inevitable evolution, but it's based on historization, what social events transpire to inform meaning. 2 outs, nobody on, and Baker is the batter. Here's Billy Wynne. 8 in a row. And the pitch for 4, grounds it to third. That's for Melton. He's a 3. 12-3. And he throws him out. And that's going to be 9 in a row for Billy Wynne, who certainly in a groove now. And we move to the top of the 8th. And here comes Ron Law, who struggled in his first inning of relief, allowed a run. Not going in the right direction at all. It's going to be Carlos May leading it off, then Buddy Bradford and Ron Hansen. Ron Hansen sounds like the most, sort of the most benign, I shouldn't say benign, the most plain kind of guy, the plain name, okay? I remember there was a Hansen, Davy Hansen, from Davy and Goliath, the animated puppet show for a Christian company. But it was very, for a little kid, it was very fun. And Mr. Hansen, Mrs. Hansen, Sally Hansen, his daughter. Okay, well, this is Ron Hansen. Who will be due up this inning? Here's Carlos. Did I just do Carlos? No. I better not have. Then I'm really getting that. No. Here's the pitch to Carlos. 4-11, grounds it to second, 1 away. So that's what Law's got to do. Make him hit it on the ground. Here's Buddy Bradford. 1 for 3, a double. He walked and scored. Well, I remember when it was on South Bales Avenue in Port Washington. That was the original location, Gigi. And I went to that as early as 1971 for the first time. Been playing the game for a year. Finally made my way out there. They weren't particularly glad to see me, but they were accommodating. Here's Ron Law now. Bradford at the plate. The pitch from Law. That's going to be 4-5, and it's a base hit. There we go. You see, we got a beginning here. Kathy Harden. We got something going here. We got some nasty stuff going. It's still working. We've got the spare. And once I start using that, I'll go buy 2 more. Well, here's Ron Hansen now with Bradford on first with a base hit. Bradford's been, if you've been following this series, Bradford has been hitting very consistently for Chicago. Ron Hansen at the plate, 2 for 3, and a walk, doubled. I think he knocked home 1 run. All of that can maybe still be debated. Those numbers aren't plain, I'll tell you that. I don't care what his name is. Here's the pitch from Law. That's 3-4. And he grounds it to second, and that will be a double play. So the side is retired. We're heading to the bottom of the 8th. Time's running out. The Cleveland trails by 3. The good news for me is that I get a personal gratification most times, and in this case this time, from Kathy Harden's team winning. Here's Tony Horton, 2 for 3. Billy Wynne in the 8th, suddenly. Absolutely, Mark Schucker. Hello to everybody else. It's not quite 8, it's 9 total, but there's about 3 or 4 of us. I don't know if Mr. Perota has left, but you know, there's about 5 who are not texting. Okay, he's retired 9 in order. Wynne. Here's the pitch to Horton. 412, walked him. Wynne is vulnerable to fatigue, of course, in this inning, and here's Hawk Harrelson now. There is action in the Cleveland bullpen for Ron Law. Once again, it's Wilbur Wood, who has been unbelievable. Parada's hanging. Wilbur Wood, if some of you remember, he lost a game or whatever it was. He has been a disappointment when you expect him to be at least a good relief pitcher. And I don't know who the manager was of the Chi Sox this year, but he's going to stick with him if needed. He's warming. And here comes Hawk Harrelson, Horton. And, this would be kind of stuff, you have to text Mike Terranova, who you want. You don't have to say warming. You can pull someone in anytime. Here's Hawk Harrelson now with Horton on first. Chi Sox down by 3. Here's the pitch to Hawk. That's 1-5. He walked him. So he walked Hawk to make it first and second. Like I said, Wilbur warming. This has been one game. Lord, this game has had a little bit of everything, including a home run by Hawk Harrelson. A 3-run blast. Here's Duke Sims now. Yes, Mark. Are you just, you're saying hello. I thought you were raising your hand to ask a question, or if you're drawing your nails, I don't know. Here's Duke Sims, Wynne trying to bear down. And the pitch to Duke, 4-6. Base hit up the middle. That should be it for Billy Wynne. Horton scores. And it's a 7-5 ball game. Billy Wynne walking 2, and then the base hit by Sims, 4-6. Base hit with 2 asteroids. He reaches fatigue, and with Luke Klimchak, the left-hander, coming in, it doesn't matter. But I just thought you might like to know that Wilbur Wood is a left-hander. So Billy Wynne pitches 7 innings. 7 hits. Walked 5. Struck out 6 and has allowed 5 earned runs, and he's responsible for first and third no outs. Lucky Wilbur Wood. So Wood steps in, taking his warm-ups. Just want to see how often he did. I need to see this on the screen because my eyes just can't see this. I want to see the percentage on hitting against lefties. 6%. I don't think I'll do it. Okay? For that reason. If he's going to pinch hit with Klimchak now. You're allowed to do that, right? So Klimchak, who plays third, we're going to bring Larry Brown in, and he will stay at third. Larry Brown, pinch hitting for Lou Klimchak. Brown. And he's a 3. So Brown steps in. Bases loaded. What a situation, Kathy Harden. Well, you got to admit it's a good ball game. 7-5 ball game. First and third, no outs. Larry Brown steps into the batter's box to face Wilbur Wood. To 7-4, 7-5. He's eligible for the save if he finishes, Mr. Teacher Perota. Eligible. And I got to get that one right, or, you know, I'm losing my mind. Here's Wood from the stretch with first and third, no outs. Here's the pitch to Brown. 1-6. Walked him. Bingo. Thank you, Mr. Perota. I had to look up a couple of save situations. I missed Mr. Locker, but the other ones, I saw that one guy was not eligible when he was the second pitcher, and then a third guy came in with only a 1-run lead and pitched the entire ninth, and he was eligible. So it was an interesting process. So Wilbur has walked the bases, and Eddie Leon is the batter. You know, it's 7-5 now. I say make contact. That's all. Make contact, Eddie Leon. Here's Wood now from the stretch. The pitch to Eddie. The crowd is roaring. 3-7. Base hit, Eddie Leon. Harrelson scores. Sims scores. It's a tie ball game. A pinch hit, 2-run single off Wilbur Wood. Oh, I'm sorry, that was Eddie Leon right here. Indeed. I should have put it down here. Yeah. Wow. Are you okay, Kathy? Are you okay? Eddie Leon. And Wood does it again. 3 runs, and those are all earned, baby. I know, don't need Mr. Perota for that one. And that's going to close out Mr. Wynne with 4 earned runs. 3 of them, well, that was Ellsworth. I'm so sorry. That's going to close Wynne out with 3, 4, 7 earned runs. All earned. How do you like that? And the bases are loaded, and Law, who has been putting my feet to sleep, there'll be a pinch hitter for Law. Absolutely. Law pitched 2. He allowed 1 run. I don't want any runs in for relief. 3 hits, 4 hits. And there'll be a pitcher for the top of the 9th for Cleveland. And that pitcher, will be Stan Williams. He's the only man for the job right now. He's a right-hander, and they need a right-hander. So Williams is taking his warm-ups. The Law's through. And the pinch hitter. Pinch hitter will be. And not like they have much to pick from here, folks. It's going to be Mike Suarez. He is a catcher. He catches regularly to give. In fact, he's been doing not much catching. 85 innings, hit 294. We're using him. We are using him. What a game. And I'm nurturing this one. There's only one hit. I'm having some sort of unfortunate technical difficulty, and it happens on occasion, so it's just not worth trying to rectify. We'll use our imaginations. Ken Suarez is the batter. Occasionally comes in to catch for Sims. And it's bases loaded with, actually it's first and third, I'm sorry. That was a 2-run. First and third, no outs. And it's a 7-7 ball game. Who, Suarez? Yeah, sure, he's got a nice left one column, absolutely. Okay, Jose Cardinal is on deck. If I was a betting man, I'd say I'd have to put my money on Cleveland. Here's Suarez now. Wood from the stretch. First and third, no outs. That's 110. And that is a base hit by Suarez off Wood. It's like all over again. That's Wood's first earned run. My Lord. And there's action in the White Sox bullpen. What is wrong with Wilbur Wood? Lord. What the hell is going on here? Danny Murphy is warming. We'll just stop using him. If this is the way he's going to pitch, we'll use Danny Murphy instead as our closer. There's 4 runs in. And in fact, the loser of record now is Wilbur Wood. Law is the winner of record. Look at that. How I was making that note, and then I looked up to see Mr. Perotta's text, and it's exactly what I said. Isn't that something? I'm not too bad with that, Mr. Perotta, the win-loss situation. Okay, Suarez is on, and we are heading. There's still nobody out. It's first and third, and here's Jose Cardinal. Patience is running very thin for the White Sox with Stan Williams. It's the wrong goddamn team. Not Stan Williams, he's with Cleveland, I'm sorry. My Lord, these pitchers. Oh my God, these pitchers are unbelievable. Well, there's Paul Edmondson. He pitched, at least he pitched 88 innings. He's a right-hander. Paul Edmondson, warming for the White Sox, ready to come in. How many times are we going to let this go on? A walk, a single, a single. Jose Cardinal, first and third, no outs. 4-7, fly ball center. That's deep enough for Eddie Leon to score. That's the second run. We'll keep Wood in because at least he got a frickin' out. It's now 9-7. 5 runs in. It's almost surreal looking at it. Big comeback for Cleveland, Kathy Harden. I don't think you weren't married to it. It's not like you're a White Sox fan. You just chose them. I don't know. But whatever it is, this is quite a comeback. But don't forget, Cleveland has the 9th inning. What a game. What a freaking game. Okay, here comes Dave Nelson with 1 out. 1 out. And Suarez on first. Wood, the pitch to Nelson. That's 2-3. And he grounds it to third for the force. So Suarez is retired, and Nelson on first with 2 outs. And Frank Baker comes up. The Cleveland club has just exhilarated these fans, batting around in the 8th and scoring 5 runs in the 8th to take a 9-7 lead. And here's Frank Baker, 0 for 3 and a walk, reached on a force. The pitch from Wood. 2-7, struck him out. And that's it. Wood allowed 2 runs himself. There were 5 runs here. Wood allows 2 of them. In a crazy 8th inning. In a crazy game. Really. No doubt about it. And the new pitcher is Stan Williams. Williams is eligible for the save, I assume. 6, 7, 8, he pitches the 9th. A full inning. Down by, I think it's less than 4 runs, I think it is. 9-7 ball game, top of the, or 3 runs. Williams for the save. Perota confirms. And leading it off will be Don Pavlitic. Oh, whoopee. And there will be a pinch hitter for Wood. Wood, the loser of record. Here's Williams, the pitch to Pavlitic. That's 3-7. He flies it to left. Under it is Baker, and that's 1 away. Stan Williams, very, very steady on the mound. And there's going to be a hitter for Wilbur Wood. Wilbur pitched 1 inning. He allowed 2 hits. He walked 1, struck out 1, allowed 2 runs, which includes the go-ahead run. And we'll see if a pitcher is even needed. Let's see who's going to hit with 1 out, nobody on. This really I gotta tell you, this bench is not too good, really. Not too good at all, but I'm going to tell you, Angel Bravo is somebody I do turn to. He's a left-handed hitter. He had 90 at-bats, and he hit 289. Angel Bravo for the White Sox. And they need a base runner here. They're down by 2. So Angel steps in. Stan Williams retired Pavlitic on a fly ball to left. Micro, Kathy, just a micro. I think it's just to push the envelope a little bit. What a mess. That's a big mess, Kathy Harden. Williams trying to save it for Law. Angel Bravo pinch hitting for Wilbur Wood. 1 out, no one on. Here's Williams now. Here's the windup. 5-5. Struck him out. Bravo goes down on strikes. I don't think he struck out too much at all. Christ. You multiply that by 5, and that would still only give him 25 strikeouts. So, Bravo, very disappointing. But Williams is 1 out away from the save and a win for Cleveland. And what a win it will be. It will win them the 4-game series 3-1, and it will put the White Sox 1/2 game ahead of Seattle. White Sox in 5th, and Seattle later in the state will have an opportunity to tie the White Sox, an expansion team. Here comes Walt Williams now with 2 outs, nobody on. Cleveland 7. White Sox. Cleveland 9, White Sox 7. Here's the pitch to Williams. 1-9. Grounds it to short. Eddie Leon throws it over, and the ball game is over. What a game it was. The final score, Cleveland 9 and Chicago 7. And it was a tough one for Chicago. In a way, I kind of feel like they didn't steal the game, but they sort of just came right back and did what needed to be done by scoring 5 runs in the bottom of the 8th. All earned. Crazy inning. And that's the ball game. It was a good game, Mark Schucker. The win goes to Ron Law, and the save is to Williams. He pitched 1 inning, a perfect inning with a strikeout. The loss goes to Wilbur Wood, and there's got to be a rethinking about Wilbur Wood's place on this Chicago team because he has been just losing. He's been getting hit. Cleveland, maybe something's going on with him personally. We'll have to talk to him. Cleveland, 9 runs on 9 hits and 3 errors. And it turns out they win despite all that. White Sox had 7 runs on 15 frickin' hits, 1 error, and lost. Out hit Cleveland by 6 hits and lost the ball game. That's a lot of walks here. Three frickin' walks here. Sacrifice fly, so doesn't surprise me too much. That's the ball game. You know where things rest. Looking really forward to our next ball game. We have 2, which I'm going to be doing a morning game. I already said what it was, but for the purposes of reinforcing our schedule, I'm going to say it again on in the morning session, 8:30, whenever it is. It will be the Baltimore Orioles at the Royals. That should be an entertaining game. Phoebus is pitching. And I think it's Rooker for the Royals. Oh my God, I keep hitting the wrong link. Good. It is Rooker. But I mean, who really gives a crap, right? But the big game, the premier game, this will be my first game, virtual game against another player. Detroit at Minnesota. Detroit, the second place team in the East, and Minnesota has a record of about 1.5 games better pace than the East leaders, Orioles. And I could post you the link of the box score of the real world game. In fact, I'll do that right now. I don't know if it's linkable, if it's hyperlinked, but there it is. And from there, you can get a link. You still with me, Mr. Terranova? There you can get a link to the ball game. Okay. It's going to be Kilkenny, who is a real spot starter. So he's a decent pitcher, but we'll see. And you have Boswell, one of the great pitchers. They have Perry Boswell and Cott to make up the bulk of that pitching staff, folks. So stay strong, everybody. You got that, Mike Terranova? You got that? You got that link? I don't know why this goddamn thing is not even loading now. Okay, good. It's on my end. There it is. Okay, very good, Mike Terranova. We'll see you 3 p.m. Eastern time. I'll make a note of it on YouTube channel here, Strat-O-Matic Baseball Network. Take care, everybody.